Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Miller, the founder here at Plato. We focus on creating solutions for technical implementation teams. Think of us as the super glue for the digital world. Goal is to make it easy to bring everything together. So I'm going to be talking about Storybook and integrating it with ScandiPWA today. It's to speed up customizing the user interface. All right, first, let's go ahead and go over what led us here. So all of us here, we have the same needs. We're on Magento because we are building customer user interfaces and we want them to work flawlessly. We're looking for a consistent, padding, visual elements look well together. Everything comes out the way you're hoping. They conform to the designs that the UI team put together, standards. We want to build, test, and sustain them with minimal time. The good news is there's already a tool that exists that does exactly this. It's called Storybook. It supports user interface development, testing, knowledge sharing. It had over 2 million downloads last week. It's a community-driven open source project, which fits really well into the ecosystem of Magento, ScandiPWA. It comes with regular releases. It's well maintained. They just put out version 6.3 last month. All right, so here's a preview of updating a button visualization to have the text click me. This is so that when you make edits, you're able to see those and test against this particular view. This also allows you to separate out user interface component implementation from the user experience implementation. This is really important. It's kind of at the heart of everything, and it really simplifies and streamlines the development and design process. You can also take a look here. This is the user interface. It's nice and simple. You can go over here. You can check out different components. Now they've got different scenarios that they're looking into. You can do some minor edits to see what it'll look like in a whole new scenario. This is showing how the interactions work, as well as seeing it in different viewports. And then finally, your full set of documentation for your front-end team so they can live in one place with everything they need. Storybook also has add-ons, so designs that covers showing something like Figma right there in the interface while you're building your implementing components. You can have the same guidelines inside of that implementation view as your designers had while they were creating those mock-ups of what it should look like. And then links allows you to demo out and build these going from one component view to another so you can see what a brand new interface might look like without ever coding anything. It also has a really nice suite of automation tests. So you can make sure that what you're about to release passes accessibility for SEO, that nothing's changed. It'll compare what did this look like on this browser in the last release to what does it look like in this release. That way you know what's being released and you can release with confidence. All right, we did have a few things that were in our way when we started on this project. We've got two competing platforms. So we've got ScandiPWA and Storybook. They both have some complexities and some conflicting configurations. Also, ScandiPWA's architecture is not really meant to be built on top of. So we had limited access and ability to customize that configuration. I'm gonna go through kind of this journey quickly. For devs, you can come back and check out the slides later for a deeper dive. First off, there was no elegant solution for getting in and access. So we did a hard override, we copied, we pasted, and it works. There is a better fix coming, and we'll cover that here at the end of this section. All right, so one of the big requirements was ScandiPWA generates the configuration at runtime, and we were able just to use this new feature with Storybook called loaders, and that worked, got it right in there. It didn't take much at all. But there's also a fallback mechanism, and that's so that it can follow the same fallback mechanism that Magento has. And that required manipulating the execution directory during the initialization so that it would align with Storybook. That took a lot of trial and error, but we eventually found the bits that didn't work well together. After that, the core was working. We added templating styles. And as you can see, the bottom left was the core working, the bottom right, it looks right. So we're off and moving at that point. Sliders was looking good, search box. We did need to add Redux so that we could get a little more context, we realized. Now breadcrumbs, form submissions, even emails, you can come in here and you can have them for theming right here. All right, so a little bit of an ask. There are some pull requests out there so that we can clean up the integration. We'd really appreciate it if you'd go out and just leave a comment, let them know that you like it, that it's important to you. We're also releasing an open source plugin, so this will be available to everyone with just one command. It installs. As soon as those pull requests are accepted, you've got access. You can start using it. Let's go over what we got from all this. First off, we've delivered on that original promise. So are able to do custom e-commerce experiences in record time. But we also got live component mockups. So we can do user experience driven development. We can mock those up with actual components, get buy-in. Then we also have another benefit. We've got a live living style guide using the original components. So you got a component dictionary. And that means that the devs are more likely to reuse those components rather than go and build them again. Saves a lot of time. We also have the automation. So it surfaces issues with accessibility, but also just visual changes. That way you know what is going out. There isn't some random change over here or there. You run the automation, you know what changed. And that's really what this is ultimately about. Confidently releasing user interface customizations. So why did we do all this here at Plato? Well, we really believe in the power of iteration and how it lets you get to the right solution more quickly. This enabled us to confidently do those iterations. We knew what had been affected with each one. There wasn't a big, long testing cycle. You run it, you looked at things, you were able to check it off, move on. We use this with our new Foundry solution, which is shameless plug coming. Foundry enables implementation teams to build and deliver fully customized Magento sites in days or hours. It's not an accelerator. What it does is it actually allows you to create custom accelerators and it integrates those with the theme. And so you also get migrations, you get deployment, all the accounts are set up for those integrations. It brings everything together under one location. We're really excited. I hope you come check us out. We're over at platosolutions.io. If you go to the bottom and you fill in the form, you can talk with us. We'll give you a demo and show it off to you. We're also, as part of this, we're now delivering, if you choose the ScandiPWA theme, you get a full suite of front-end tests. So you can keep doing that iteration and truly build custom interfaces, knowing with confidence that each iteration is safe. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Hope to see you around.
All right. Hello.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
Very insightful presentation of yours. Are you ready for some questions?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, then let's fire away. What led you to integrate Storybook with ScandiPWA?
So when we were starting off, we were getting together what test suites we wanted to put together because we like to iterate, and so it's really important. We came across Storybook. Then we realized actually that it was going to help us speed up the implementation by splitting out the component, so the base React portions from the ScandiPWA portions. So we got a lot of benefit from there and being able to split and streamline development. So save time and money.
Nice to hear. And what were the so-called eye-opening moments during the development process, and what was the biggest stumble?
So ScandiPWA mirroring Magento's fallback was a little bit more complicated than we'd originally realized. So, and it's really deeply hidden. And so getting access to make that work with other things, it definitely created some hurdles for us, but we got through it. It was a fun week or two of scratching our heads.
Wow. So it took a week for you, 2 weeks to figure that out.
It wasn't our only focus, but yeah, it was kind of like, how do we change something that we don't have access to?
Yeah, I can imagine that challenge for sure. How do you see the future developments of this plugin and future implementations or any updates?
Yeah, so I know ScandiPWA, last I heard, you're putting out a release possibly Tuesday of next week. So the plugin, we're putting out a cleaned up version right after that comes out. So it'll be one command. It'll just work for everybody. We have also built out a generator. So it'll actually onboard all of ScandiPWA's components, auto build all the tests for them, and all the UI different configurations so that front end teams don't have to do any work at all to make this work. And so that's another thing we're putting together, is that migration tool to bring all those into Storybook.
So that's going to be a fully streamlined process in that case, correct?
Yeah. You should be able to truly customize ScandiPWA to your heart's content and feel confident in it.
Well, the vision sounds beautiful. Do you have any approximation when that could be up and running?
Yeah, we're looking at a couple of weeks. The generation, though, that portion you'll get with our product Plato, Foundry. And so what we do over there is we actually fully build out and integrate all the components in the front end. And so what you'll get is you'll get the full suite of tests, not just for the base of ScandiPWA, but you'll also get it for all the different extensions that get merged in. And so you'll literally have something covering everything. So it's a whole integrated suite.
Well, on this note, I would certainly like to thank you for your very insightful presentation and the news that you shared with us today. And thank you for joining the live Q&A session.
Awesome. Thanks. You have a great rest of your day.
Have a great day.